In the bustling realm of digital content creation, where voices clamor for attention, comedian and content creator Céline Tshika stands out. With a magnetic blend of musical talent as well as comedy, she has also carved a distinctive path in the entertainment landscape, leaving a trail of laughter and insight in her wake. Recently, Chica's incisive take on capitalism sparked a viral sensation, resonating deeply with audiences worldwide. She joins us now for more insights. Céline, a pleasure to have you on the program this evening. Firstly, tell us, what inspired you to start creating musical comedy skits?
That's a great question. I think getting into stand-up comedy and feeling like I love it, but I don't absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And knowing that I had a musical background, like I used to be a songwriter, and just wanting to reconnect with that, I thought, oh my gosh, there's a way I can do all of the above. So that's how I got into it.
And getting into that, I want to understand your creative process. How do you come up with these ideas for your videos?
I think that even before I got into comedy at all, my songwriting, I would always write songs in music videos. So I was very visual idea with storytelling. So I think it just made it really easy now for what I do now. So I think now I generally have like a joke first, and then I build a melody around it. And then I think, okay, this is how it will look visually. So yeah, so that's my process.
Yeah, but in more practical terms, tell us about the process of actually creating one of your even recent comedy skits. What was happening? What was involved here?
Oh yeah, there's the music phase first,
Yeah.
and then so I created a little vocal demo just using the notes on my phone, and then I go to Michaela Faith, who's the producer, and with that demo, and then we build a song together, and she has all the musical instruments and production background. So then I leave with the demo, and then I use that demo to build like a shot list for the video, and then from there I get the crew, and then we decide on a shoot day and shoot that with the song and all of that. So that's how it goes.
I mean, while all of this sounds like fun to me, what challenges have you faced, especially as a female content creator in a male-dominated space like this?
Yeah, I think the male-dominated space has definitely felt more like in person and in stand-up comedy in particular. Yeah, it is. I think the biggest challenge is just being tokenized. That's usually the thing. Is being the only woman on the lineup is actually quite an isolating experience, and I think it overcoming that has just been about community and finding other non-men in comedy, and yeah, that has been, and just creating our own spaces for ourselves has also been really fulfilling. Yeah, so that's been the main challenge from that perspective.
Céline, your skits touch on various issues. How do you then incorporate social and political commentary into your comedy?
I think I've always had, some interest in social commentary, and I think that comedy has always been the most comfortable way for me to address those things. And I think music is so powerful in that sense as an incorporator, because you can just say something really depressing, but put it on a really fun, happy melody. And I think that's such a great way to create that contrast or that tragedy and comedy blend that I think makes satire so good, or such an effective tool. So yeah, I think that's how I've always brought it in.
What has the response been to, especially your recent video on capitalism?
Yeah, that has been very overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't think I expected it to resonate on such a, I'll say, like global or international platform. There's just been people telling me that they found it on random platforms, and friends in Canada or Brazil or something who've posted it. And that has been pretty insane. Really great as a creative, as an artist, to hear that your work resonates with people. I think it has also sparked some debate. The comment section has become quite famous in itself. And yeah, there has been a lot of political debates about capitalism and is it really that bad? And, so there's just been quite a, I think it's been very healthy debate.
Yeah, yeah. But how do you balance humor, especially with delivering, call it a meaningful message here?
Yeah, that's always the tricky part. I think if it makes me too sad, I'm like, okay, hold on. let's take a little step back.
Yeah.
I think it always needs to have that balance that it's like, oh, this is really fun. I always think as someone who doesn't agree with me politically, will they still find this funny? I think that's kind of also been the barometer just in my past work with satire. It's like, can you look at this and be like, oh, this is funny? And even though you don't agree with the politics. So I think, yeah, funny is funny at the end of the day. And that's what I use to motivate and maintain that balance.
Funny is funny at the end of the day. But what advice would you give to especially aspiring content creators who are looking to really break into comedy?
I think, find your niche and your personality and don't be afraid to just go into it. I mean, I didn't think musical comedy combined with like my filmmaking style would be the thing that I eventually would take off. So I think that would be my advice. And also lean on people. I will always talk about leaning on people and finding collaborators, because they really make the magic happen. I think teamwork really is, as cheesy as that sounds, it's really what makes it all come together.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. But how has your background influenced your approach to comedy, Céline, and really telling your story, storytelling?
Yeah, I think that I grew up an immigrant. I'm from DRC, and I think being between two cultures all the time just gives me, I think it just always gave me a little bit of perspective. Being a little bit of an outsider, I think can really make you be a very reflective person. And I think that has always kind of stuck with me. And yeah, I think my parents are also very reflective. I know my dad reads a lot of political books, and he's also very musical. So I think that all factors into it.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone in my family is actually very creative. So I think it just made sense.
And as we wrap up, are there upcoming projects or even shows that you are really excited about?
Yes. I'm releasing the songs on streaming, so that's like a nice next step. And I have a few more musical comedy videos coming out. And I am performing this weekend on Sunday, the 21st of July at Heat Arts Festival. And I'm really excited for that show. It's such a great lineup of comedians, and I'm going to bring a musical element to it. So yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah. And before we let you go, how do you see the role of digital platforms in really shaping the future of comedy, if you will?
We are on our phones a lot. It's unfortunate, but it's just kind of where we're at right now. So I think it really has such a big impact. What we consume on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, really does affect us. And I think comedians just have that platform or that ability to grab attention in a very unique way. And yeah, I think that will look at like paying attention to the digital aspect is just an important factor nowadays. And yeah, I think we will see a lot more stand-up comedians who do in-person shows having a very curated online presence as well, that I think will feed into their comedic personality. Yeah.
Let's end our interview with a personal reflection. What impact do you hope your work will live, or rather leave? And what impact are you hoping to place on your audiences as well as you continue with this work?
Ooh, that is the question.
Yeah.
I think my politics and my work really does just stand for equality, and doing the work of or undoing and unlearning, oppressive systems from the past.
Yeah.
And I think that my way of approaching it in a comedic way is just a little bit easier to digest, or a different way of digesting that information. And I hope to just make people think. I think that's what I really want to do, is just cause reflection and be like, hey, how do I actually see the world? What has shaped that? And do I want to think differently, maybe? Yeah. So I think that maybe sums it up.
Well, Chica, let me thank you for spending some time with us here on Newsfeed PM and really sharing your journey and insights with us. Your unique blend of comedy and commentary is truly inspiring.
Thank you.
So we will continue watching your space as well.